Hello, beautiful and blessed ones. It is Marsha Gauntlet Kirby, and welcome back to the channel. May is Mental Health Month, and by the title, I think I would have mentioned Black women in there somewhere. So, Black women, I am talking to you. We need to do what we need to do to take care of our mental health. Just like we would go to the doctor to get various treatments for issues like, for various physical issues like, let's say, diabetes or high blood pressure, we need to do the same. Make sure we're on that same track for our mental health, especially if we have something that has been diagnosed, let's say like a depression or anxiety disorder. We need to stay on top of those periodic checkups. Again, just like we would our physical health. We need to make mental health just as important as if there was an issue going on in our body. For those of you new to my channel, and for those of you who have been here for a while, to reiterate, I graduated with, oh my gosh, almost a year now. I graduated with my master's in clinical social work, and my emphasis was on mental and behavioral health. Last October, I took the exam to get licensed, and I am now a licensed social worker. In order for me to practice therapy, I have to work towards my LCSW, which is a licensed clinical social worker. That's going to take time, but I decided to put together these few, I don't want to say they are tips, just a few things that will help you take care of your mental health during this month of May and beyond. When I was in school, most of my research was on black people, okay? Especially Black women. I know my professors were like, girl, but listen, I'm for the people. I'm here to teach and to educate and to break stigmas surrounding mental health, especially in the Black community. So when I was doing my research, one of my last classes, one of my last classes, I think it was a group counseling course, and we had to, for one of the assignments, we had to put together, we got to choose, but I put together a psychoeducation group for Black women. Now, when I was doing the research, first of all, there wasn't a lot of research, but then when I did find research on Black women, we are still, because the psychoeducation group was supposed to be for Black women, we are still the least likely to go and get help or to take these courses or to participate in these type of mental health programs, either due to lack of time, lack of resources. We're always pouring into other people, but not pouring into ourselves the way we should, taking care of other people, but not taking care of ourselves the way we should. Now, COVID has shifted things a bit. I think mental health is becoming more and more at the forefront. But when I was researching for this project, this mental health project, this was post-COVID. Oh, I forgot to say I'm wearing my green. Green is for Mental Health Month. Okay, I purposely put this on today. It's a little, it's a little cool right now in the day. Well, cool to me. So I just put on this little jacket thing with little pops of green in it. All right, let's get into a few things that we can do to take care of our mental health. Now, self-care. I know we hear it all the time, okay? When I was in my program, my social work program, we were bombarded with the importance of self-care. Now, I know that we usually say, okay, I'm going to get a manicure, a pedicure, that is my self-care. It's rolled up kind of into self-care, but self-care is really doing what we need to do to make sure our needs are met. So for me, for example, going to the gym is a non-negotiable for me. I was actually gonna go earlier, but I said I had to get this video out. I really wanna get it out today. But anyway, going to the gym is very important to me. I try to go at least 3 times a week, but then the other days I am walking. The gym, and I know people, I was just looking at something when they were like, someone was saying that, oh my God, I don't wanna go to the gym. Who likes to exercise? I like to exercise, okay? Because that really helps decompress me, and it releases or reduces cortisol. One of those. So like I said, it helps to calm me down. I am someone who suffers from anxiety, and the gym really helps with that. So going to the gym also helps it's also good for my physical health. And we know the mental, physical are intertwined. Actually, there are 8 dimensions of health. I don't think I can recite all of them. Social, emotional. I think they roll up emotional into mental today. Emotional, financial, spiritual, occupational. So all of those work together. And then when one is out of order, then everything else, it affects everything else, and it could affect your quality of life. Rest. Yeah, that is something that a lot of us don't get a lot of. I gotta find another word for a lot. That's some place that I'll speak for myself that is lacking. I have been trying to get up at 5:30 in the morning. I've been trying to do this since Lent. I was doing well, and I'm still doing okay getting up early, because I find, like, before COVID, I was getting up really early and I felt like my day was more productive. I was able to get a lot more done. But during that time of pre-COVID, I was also going to bed early. I was going to bed at like 10 o'clock. Now I'm going to bed at the night before and the night before that, I was going to bed at 12. So it doesn't make sense for me to try to go to bed at get up at 5:30 when I'm going to bed at 12 o'clock. I'm not getting the amount of rest needed for my body, because I felt it the next day. I went to a workshop. I was in a workshop a couple of weeks ago. It was early last month. And the licensed professional counselor who was presenting, he said that it's a non-negotiable for him between 8 to 10 hours of sleep. And this was a white man, okay? So listen, we need to incorporate the same principles. He had a whole routine set, and he stuck to that routine, because he said that is how he manages his day. That was his self-care, his me time. He had a whole other routine that I just found spectacular. So I was trying to incorporate some of those into my own routine. But, anyway, I'm talking to myself right now as well. Get the rest that you need, get the rest that I need. And it's important when we're resting to get into that REM sleep. REM sleep is when our dreams are the most vivid. It's when almost like our body shuts down in a good way. It's muscle paralysis, again, in a good way. And that it helps with memory as well. So we want to try to get into that REM sleep. When we are going to bed really late, we're not giving our bodies enough time. We're not giving our bodies enough time to get there and then to stay there. So, like I said, rest is very important. Lean on your faith, all right? I am a Christian. I'm a disciple. I follow the principles of Jesus and the Bible. So for me, reading the Bible, I think I said I was getting up at 5:30. I'm getting up at 5:30, so I'm reading the Bible, picking out different scriptures that will actually help me with whatever I'm going through in life. For example, I was having an anxious moment a couple of weeks ago, and first of all, I had to go for a walk. Walking is one of the things that also is part of my self-care. I love to walk, not because I always wear my Fitbit, not just to get my steps in, but that's another thing that calms me down. It helps me to breathe. I'm focusing on nature, or I'm praying sometimes. Yeah, I'm walking, I'm praying to God. And at that moment, the day when I was having that anxious moment, I went for a walk, and I work on a beautiful campus. So the scenery is just beautiful. But anyway, I went for a walk. I was talking to God, and then after that walk, I immediately I came back to my desk and opened my Bible and found, and the scriptures were right there that I needed. And honestly, I started crying, because it spoke to me in that moment. And I had to have a meeting, I had to have a meeting in, let's say, within 30 minutes of me getting back to my desk. And the scriptures just helped set the tone for that meeting, and the meeting went very well. So lean on your faith. Create boundaries. I know that's another popular word over the last few years, but it's important. I am a reformed people pleaser, okay? And setting boundaries was hard for me. And in all transparency, it's still a little bit challenging, especially with, I'm not gonna say loved ones. I feel like I'm okay with loved ones setting the boundary. I feel like people, let's say some people within the workplace, because for me, it's like, okay, I don't want to come off aggressive, or I don't want to work, I want to still be liked. So that is still, that's still an area that I'm working on. But creating boundaries, it benefits us. It's not for the other person. So my boundary for work, I have decided, because before, like, you know, since we've been working from home, and, you know, I think some of us are still on a hybrid, we're going into the office some days and working from home the other days. I was just on the computer all the time. I was just doing work all the time. But right now, I have set the tone to shut down. My work hours are usually from 8 to 4. I will shut down at 4. That's it. we're not reading any more emails. We're not responding because I had a habit of still going on. I'll in all transparency, I went on vacation last week and I was supposed to shut down because I left on Wednesday afternoon and I was supposed to shut down my emails right at 12 o'clock. And I still had the notifications on my phone and I kept checking them even while we were driving to our destination. And I was like, Marsha, So I shut down the phone, shut down my notifications, and did not answer a single email until I got back the following Monday, okay? So that is one boundary that's important for me to stick by. Breathing. I spoke about walking. When I'm walking, I'm concentrating on my breathing. I'm thinking about, well, I was gonna say breathing in the fresh air, but we don't know what's going on in this ozone layer, I don't know, with the air quality. Anywho, anywho. So when I am walking, I am breathing. I practice, there are a couple of methods and I would encourage you to look them up. The method that I usually practice is 5-7-8. So you breathe in for 5, you hold for 5, you breathe in, you inhale for 5, you hold for 7. Is mine 5-7-8? You hold for 7. No, mine is 5-6-8, I believe. I think the traditional is 5-7-8. But anywho, 5, I breathe in for 5, I hold for 7, and then I slowly breathe out for 8. So I actually practiced this with my therapist, and she realized I don't know, she could see something because she realized I was not doing it right, because people are not supposed to know when you're practicing the 5-7-8. So let's say, this has happened to me. Someone has come into my office and triggered me for some reason or the other, and she was like, you don't want them to know when you're trying to calm yourself down and get your body adjusted. You don't want the person to know that you are like, no, you want to, you know, breathe in and breathe out. But like I said, 5-7-8. Another method is the box method. Now I'm trying to practice that one. I'm gonna be honest and say that one is I don't know why, it's a little bit harder for me. So that's when you breathe in for 4, hold for 4, exhale, or inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and then hold for 4, I believe. I've been trying to do that one. That one is, that one helps when you are anxious, I believe, anxious in the moment. So I've been trying to do that, but it just, I don't know. For me, the 5-7-8 or 5-6-8 method works the breath. But it's important to breathe, okay? Because when we are tense, when we're anxious, when we're going through things, we tend to take shallow breaths. Do what brings you joy. For me, presenting these videos or putting these videos up for you guys is something that brings me joy. I remember, especially when I was in school, it was something that I enjoyed, like the fashion content, the beauty content. It was also a way for me to mentally take a break from my coursework. I remember talking about it with my my therapist. She was like, yeah, girl, upload your videos, honey, all right? That's a part of at that time was a part of my self-care. But right now it brings me joy to get these videos to you guys. So, and I'm gonna incorporate more mental health content. I'm just trying to figure out a way to do that. I guess it starts with this video, but this also brings me joy. Again, educating, teaching, and getting the word out about mental health. I mentioned a workshop I went to a few weeks ago. I am a licensed social worker, and to maintain my license, I have to maintain 60 credits. I have to take continuing education workshops. So I took my first one last month, and it was regarding emotional regulation, or emotional regulation / dysregulation. Now, emotional regulation is at the heart, of many mental health disorders like anxiety, again, depression, what's the other one? BPD, oh my gosh, borderline personality disorder. So yeah, it's at the heart of that. So when I took that course, but we got on the topic of opioids, and the licensed professional counselor, the one who I said he sleeps between 8 to 10 hours a night, he was saying that dark chocolate and being around your loved ones. I mean, you're not toxic loved ones. I mean, your loved ones, the people who, again, bring you joy, that elicits the same effect as opioids. And he was like, so after this course, go and call the person that you, let's say, love to speak to or you love to be around. Not just family members, whoever it is that you love to speak to, you love somebody who you, I'm trying to figure out how to say this. Someone who you would call when you are having a bad day because you know that speaking to them will make you feel better. Like, you don't necessarily have to call them to rant or to vent, but just calling them, just hearing their voice just makes you feel better. That elicited the same response as opioid on the brain. So get you some dark chocolate if you like chocolate. I love dark chocolate, okay? And when he told me that, of course, I ran to Whole Foods and got some these dark chocolate bars that I like. Listen, I'm munching a little piece on a day-to-day basis, okay? Because dark chocolate is good for you. Good for you now, mentally and physically. Last on my list is honoring your emotions. I checked in with my therapist last week, and that was one of the things that stuck out to me. I was going through, listen, I was having an emotional crisis, okay? But she was saying that I was trying to get to, I think I forgot what I said. I said, almost like I was angry, but I was angry, but I didn't want to feel angry or something like that. But she was like, why? Honor the emotions. If you're feeling insecure, honor that emotion. If you're feeling overwhelmed, honor that emotion. If you're feeling sad or angry, honor that emotion. If you're feeling joyful, it's important to honor that, honor those emotions. I think at times we want to push through. We have this idea that we have to push through. No, we're gonna push through the anger because we so want to get to the other side. When I was in my program, I learned about toxic positivity, and that was, I didn't realize that I was doing it. Everything was just so overly positive, and that's just not life. I'm sorry. Life is not filled with positivity 24/7. So, yeah, sitting with, honoring our emotions, processing those emotions, figuring out where is the emotion coming from. Let's say we're overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed right now. Why am I overwhelmed? Did something happen? Are there too many things on my plate? So after we honor it, we process it, investigate what's happening, what's going on, where's it coming from, and then we tackle it. I just mentioned that I checked in with my therapist, so I am going to encourage you as well. If you have the resources, if you have insurance, and you can find a therapist, a licensed professional counselor, or a licensed clinical social worker, or even a psychiatrist, because sometimes their calls, our mental health needs may call for medication. If you have insurance, you can find a therapist through your insurance. I found my first black counselor through my insurance company, and then for the one that I have now, I went through Psychology Today. Now, I'm not gonna hold you. It took a while to find a really good, not even really good. It took a while to find a black therapist, whether male or female. Because they getting booked up, okay? They getting real booked up, but they are out there. If you don't have, let's say insurance, you don't have, I'm gonna say the resources, but you don't have the funds, let's say, to pay for a therapist, because they could also be pretty pricey. There are also free resources out there. When my last internship, I was working at a library, and at the time, I wasn't licensed, but as an intern, I was providing free resources within that library community. So even helping talk about mental health, I wasn't diagnosing, but I was able to spot symptoms of disorders that people were coming in with, if that makes sense. Yeah, coming in with. So if you want to reach out to free resources just to kind of maybe get a baseline of maybe what may be going on with you, I think that would be also helpful if you don't have the funds to actually seek a therapist. All right, guys, that is it for me today. Please, 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 please take care of yourself. Not just this month, but every other month of the year. Next year, the year after that. so forth and so forth. And like I said, I'm just going to reiterate, it is important to check in with yourself every day. It is important to, I talked about emotions. It's important to be self-aware, but aware of what's going on in our body emotionally and mentally so that we can address it. Because sometimes being self-aware can also help us to see whether there's something more detrimental going on, okay? Anywho, have a safe and blessed week, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!